Listen, if you're gonna dog on a movie just by the trailer or because Tyler Perry directed it, you're in the wrong. Give movies a chance. Just give movies a chance. Chase Lee Hockey here with the Blue Futon reviewing the 6888. So what is about? Pretty simple premise, inspired by the first and only Women's Army Corps unit of color to serve overseas in World War II. Despite facing racism and sexism and grueling work conditions, they were committed in serving their country with honor and distinction, giving an extraordinary mission and unity in their determination. These unsung heroes deserve hope and shattered barriers. So it doesn't really tell what happened. They were in Georgia, I'm not mistaken, because I know the story is, Hollywoodized, so it's not 100% true. They finally got a mission because they've been wanting to go to mission, but they are black and brown, so the army is like, nah, you can stay here. But someone, a mother, went to the White House and says, I haven't received mail. It's been an issue. So they get sent to try to sort through 17 million pieces of parcel to soldiers that are in the battlefield, as well as the family at home to know if people are alive or dead. So, did I like this story? It did its job. I'm sorry. The people that are dogging this movie on, they're doing it wrong, because these are stories that I like to hear about. Yes, I know people love the Saving Private Ryans. I know people love the violence of war. At a point, though, we need these type. Yes, the Hacksaw Ridge is very violent, but it's still, about a nurse. I wanted to see a doc about the only female nurse, second lieutenant. This is disrespectful, but she's the only female buried in Luxembourg, where General Patton is, buried. That story is fascinating. To me, this story is fascinating as well, because yes, even though there might be some cliches in this movie about, the sassy black lady or, the conservative black lady and the clashes between northern and southern people, understand that the cliches are completely there, but just understand the story of what Kerry Washington, how Tyler Perry, I felt like this is a project he've always wanted to do, or something to break from his Medea days, that I could recommend this movie, because I think it's shot well. It has action when it needs action, even though it's very limited. It has the scenarios where you're like, yeah, this probably did happen, and it's not something that feels far-fetched, because there's some racism and sexism stories where you feel like, could that have really happened here? Yes, I could have seen some of this stuff happen because of shit that was happening in World War II. I mean, I look at the, so that's all I'm going to leave it. I'm not going to say, like, oh my God, it's overblown. I don't think this can be overblown with what they were given, with the rodents, with, people moving all over the time in the battlefield and things like that. I've seen this Huffington Post article giving it dog shit because it's about a dead white lover. Really? Is race really a thing? Because what if that truly happened? I mean, it's a backstory of her wanting to serve her country. I think that's a good pivoting point for doing it. And it's a good pivoting point for another guy that is an interest with her. And it shows that, okay, maybe we could just be friends. And that's what I'm looking for right now, is a friend. And I like that. It didn't go in the sexualization of of what could have happened. So I think Tyler Perry did a good job trying to tell the story. Like I said, the look at the movie is filmed in Georgia, probably on his sound stage, and what he made in Georgia, what he's like putting his millions of dollars into. So I congratulate him for doing that. Like I said, Kerry Washington is a good job. The supporting cast is a good job, and I think the look at the movie is a good. Dean Norris is a good job playing the Dick General, and I mean, I agree. I've met some generals, and some of them are the nicest people you met, and some of them are on a high horse. So there is that. So the negative, you can say that there is a lot of changes. So I did look at the actual real story, and how I know the major, she actually was a lieutenant colonel. And the main girl, they never really met in boot camp. They met overseas in World War II. So in Germany. So I do wish there were, or was it, no, sorry, it was England. My bad. Because Germany would be in the shit of, that wouldn't be the mail, would be like, it'd be a centralized hub. So there are things like that where you're like, I understand that you have to do that, which I wonder. Also, the UXO, I wonder if they did die from that. I couldn't find that on Wikipedia or Google. So let me know in the comments below if that actually happened, and if it did. Like I said, it's nothing that felt unbelievable, and that's what I kind of liked about this story. Yes, you could say the beginning battle felt a little bit cheap, but it like they didn't have the right budget, and that's a little bit of a bummer because I think Tyler Perry does deserve a little bit more of a budget with this story, especially with the plane crash scene. Because when you look at that compared to like 1917, it's night and day, and it's just a bummer. But I do like the transition of how the letter gets from point A to point B to point C, and I like that point in the story. So yeah, people dogging on this movie without watching it, shame on you, because even though the 688, I think it's a solid movie. I think Tyler Perry does a good job. Kerry Washington, the supporting cast, which could also include, I'm going to say right now, Ebony. Oh my God, I suck at names. So Kylie Jefferson, Shantay, Ebony, oh my God, Mulaney Jackson. I just suck, so I slapped myself in the face. I'm sorry. I suck as a human being, and that's okay, because I'm pretty white. You know what I mean? So yes, I thought it was a good movie. I thought Tyler Perry did a good job. I thought it was a well-crafted one. It did its story. And the ending was very sweet. And I what do you want me to say? And there's an army base after her now. So, good. Good on the army for renaming the base to honor this unit and the lieutenant colonel and the lieutenant colonel's name. And that's what sucks. It just says actor. Like, tell me what part. And that's the other thing is when you read through this, it doesn't have the girl's name. I think it's also disrespectful. Like, this is now Rotten Tomato. It could have been me too. That we should have at least some of the real people's names. But what do I know? I could do more research, and I'll probably go to IMDb after I give you my score. So the 6888 will receive a 3.5 out of 5 Futons, which equals that 70%. We'll see the critics' user scores that gave this one. Critics, a 53% with 45 of them. Audience score 74% with over 500. Critic consensus. There is no critic consensus. Oh, shit. I was expecting more. Okay, IMDb. So let me do this real quick because I am being disrespectful right now with not having the Lieutenant Colonel's real name. The 6888, Kerry Washington's character, and she plays Lieutenant. Well, she was a captain. Then when she went over, it was Major, and then she finally ended. So it just says Major Adams. I know she has a first name. Again, come on, IMDb. Give me her first name. Major. Now I gotta go to Google. Major Adams. It just says Major Adams. Come on. What's her first name? Charity. Major Charity Adams. Finally. 74. 54. My 70. Chase out here with the Blue Futon. Like, comment, subscribe. On all things Blue Futontopia. You Blue Futonians. Thank you for watching. For a great time. Watch stay tomorrow week from month or every single freaking one of you. And yeah. Shame on you for just judging a movie based on trailers and Tyler Perry as a director.